They don't know my story, they just know my sound.
Is the key to being successful in any business is making the decision and sticking with it.
I feel like I was pushed on purpose.
And I feel like I was in the birthing room.
Every single one of you have faced things in your life, have overcome things, and because of that, you have a responsibility to share your message with the world. And you have a responsibility to take those lessons that you learned and use it to help other people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8. This is the birthing experience where we help coaches birth their mastery. I am your host, Niala Phillips, the master midwife, and I am super excited because today we're talking about finding your it factor and milking it, okay? So if you are new, and you're here watching us live, definitely put hashtag new below. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We are going to be in the comments talking to you guys tonight. If you're watching us on a replay, please put hashtag replay below so we can come back and say thank you for joining. So just in case you're new, let me tell you a little bit about what we do here. As I said, this is the birthing experience where we help coaches birth their mastery. I'm the master midwife, and I'm all about helping you push, plan, prep, and produce your mastery, okay? As the master midwife, it's my job that you do not miscarry your message, you do not abort your assignment, and you do not push out your purpose prematurely, okay? So we provide content that helps you master your mindset, your messaging, your marketing, and your money. Okay, now in month 1, we talked all about mindset. We also had a wonderful speaker come in. We're going to be having another speaker coming in next week. I cannot wait to put out that announcement in a couple days. So make sure you guys tune into that. Like I said, it's all about making sure you have what you need to grow and scale your coaching business, birth that mastery, and really share your greatness and your message with the world. Okay, so we're talking about finding your it factor and milking it. Just take a moment to share the video out if you know there's someone on your friends list that's going to want this information. Because here's what I know about most coaches. What I know is that most coaches struggle with standing out. Okay, so you're asking yourself, how do I stand out? It's so noisy. There's so many people that does what I do. How do I make myself stand out? Right? And you hear people say, well, you got to find that unique thing about you. You got to find that it factor. That's what we're talking about today, right? So you ask yourself, how do I find what makes me unique? Right? So today we're going to be answering those questions. Okay. So have you ever heard the phrase? It's an old marketing phrase where they said, got milk, right? Or they said, milk does the body good, right? Remember those old phrases? Well, the underlying message under these two sayings really is that milk does your body good. Milk is an essential part of your body, your healthy life. It's supposed to help you, right? It's supposed to strengthen those bones, your calcium, all of that good stuff, right? That's the underlying message with those two sayings. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to mastering your message, because what I truly believe is you first have to learn how to discover that it factor and milk it. That becomes, being able to find your it factor and milk it is what makes your message so good. Right? That's a hashtag message. So if you guys are new to us, if there's anything that I say on today's episode that speaks to you, that resonates to you, that goes to your heart, and you're like, oh my goodness, that was good, just put a hashtag message below. And again, guys, if you haven't shared this out, take a moment to share this out. All right? So finding your it factor and knowing how to milk it is exactly what does your message some good. Right? And what have I always been saying? What did you hear when we opened up today? You have a message, you have a story, and it's your responsibility to share it, right? But how can you do it in a way that makes you stand out? How can you do it in a way that's going to make your ideal clients gravitate to you and look at you as the only person who they want to work with, right? So one thing that I believe, let's just talk a little bit about it factor, because we could continue to say it factor, but I think first you need to know, what is your it factor? Like, what does that even mean? Okay, so I looked it up. Here's what I got. Your it factor is that unique and undeniable attribute, okay, that makes you stand out. Your it factor is that unique and undeniable attribute that makes you stand out. What I like to say is that it's that invisible thing that every single person has that makes them stand out in any crowd. And we all have it. What I believe is that some of us are born with it, and some of us have to actually find it and develop it, but we all have it. Okay, and today I'm going to be giving you several ways that you can find your it factor, because that is the one thing that's going to let you stand out in your industry. It's the one thing that's going to have your clients running after you. Okay, and honestly, in my experience, I think I'm one of those people that were born with it, but I didn't embrace it, right? But once I started to embrace it, I also got an instant feel of confidence, because when you're able to stand out, stand in your power, share your truth, teach from your own place, your own experiences, it's just a sense of confidence that comes, right? So that's another reason why finding your it factor is so very important, okay? So another thing that I believe is sometimes your it factor is the one thing you don't like about yourself. It's the one thing that you think ostracizes you, right? It's that one thing that you really like, people notice, but you wish they wouldn't. It's the one thing that you hide from usually. And again, because what I do with my clients is helping them find and market their unique message, a lot of times when I'm speaking to them about their stories, about their history, their background, and I'm just listening, I can easily see those things that just really makes them different. Sometimes it's just the way they do teach something, or the way they talk about something is completely different. I have one client, and I remember when I first started working with her, it was all about health and wellness. I'm going to help people lose weight. I'm going to help people lose weight. But everybody's helping somebody lose weight nowadays, right? And we had to figure out what was an it factor. Now, she had several, but one that I was able to pull out that was amazing is that she was able to create customizable plans, right? Nutritional plans based on people's blood type. And a lot of times people are giving you plans. You go in places like Jenny Craig and all these different companies, they give you these plans, but are they really thinking of your blood type? Or do they just ask you, are you male or female? How much do you weigh? What's your height? And they automatically calculate your BMI. Boom, this is what you should be doing. Oh, right. So when we figured it out, I said, wait a minute, talk to me about that. How did that happen? She started telling me how her religion and how she went to some studies, and the studies is what opened up to different blood types, what we should be eating, what we should not be eating. And just like that, she was able to find a unique angle to enter the marketplace, right? So this is what I mean when I say find your it factor, because when you do, you can milk it. And when you milk it, honey, it does your message some good. Okay, so guys, again, if you have not shared this out, please take a moment to share this out. If you're now joining me, my name is Niala Phillip, the Master Midwife. I am a marketing and income strategist for coaches. This is the birthing experience where we help coaches birth their mastery. And we are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you awesome content to help you master your mindset, your messaging, your marketing, and your money. So definitely take a moment to share this out, okay? So we're talking about finding your it factor and milking it, because we know it does your body some good, right? So just like your baby needs that milk to be able to have some healthy development, your message is gonna need some milking, okay? Which means that you might have a message, but you gotta find that it factor about that message that's gonna make it uniquely yours so you can stand out. A lot of times I say with myself how I evolved into finding that thing about me. When I first started, I would say it was all about my personality. And I think this is for a lot of people, their personality is what really brings out their it factor. But then I found out that through my clients that there were other things about me that they felt were different. So you're going to see that I'm going to give you several ways that you can find it, but you're going to see as you go along in this journey, growing your coaching business, that you are going to find things that really quirky about you, things that you operate very differently from other people. And those are the things that you should not hide. I think sometimes we want to fit into the status quo. We want to fit into what everybody else is doing. And the truth is that's when you really should stand out. That's when you really should go against the grain, because when you do, that is when your clients gravitate to you. That is when people start seeing you as the only solution, because you're doing the one thing that no one else is doing. Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to talk about discovering your it factor. All right, so here's number one. Make sure you guys are taking notes, okay? So number one is go into your story. Okay, this is one place where you can find your it factor. It's all about who am I as a person? Where have I been? What is my journey all about? Okay, so one thing I know is that people gravitate to story of success. People gravitate to stories of failures, ups and downs, accomplishments, achievements, things that you've overcome, things that you might have failed at, like I said. All of these stories is what people gravitate to. And a lot of times when you start digging into your own journey, you're going to find out that there's something about you that makes you so very different. So let me give you an example. And of course, I'm going to really, really make this up, right? But let's just say that you are a profit strategist, okay? And that means that you're all about helping business owners create more profits in their business. You probably do a lot of profit planning for people, right? So if you're a profit strategist and maybe you are from another country, and maybe when you were younger, your family had a store. And maybe in that store, your mom used to teach you how to do profits with bottle cans. Okay, with bottles and cans, I'm making something up, right? So maybe your mom used to teach you math or teach you different, problems or different business lessons through bottles and cans. And you might think that that has no relevancy to what you do now. You may think that, why would I even bring that up? But a lot of times, like I said, what I do is I help people dig into their history, find that unique message so they can market it, right? So a lot of times when I speak to them, I find out, wow, that is unique. Other people who learned how to do that didn't learn it the way you did. That's something that you can actually milk. That's something that you can actually make a unique part of your journey. Meaning, I am a profit strategist, but I'm not just a profit strategist. I'm the girl who, learned how to build a business with bottles and cans. I mean, if you were to see that on someone's bio, wouldn't you want to know, huh? Right? Wouldn't it make you read? And you will gravitate to it because it is different and it's something that you haven't heard before. So again, that may not have been a deep example, but I'm pretty sure you guys got it. Why? Because your journey is different. And there is something in your story that makes you different, okay? So of course, another thing is when it comes to marketing your business, one of the things that I know about marketing is it's all about being unique. Okay, it's all about being unique. It's all about, doing things that you see, doing things that you don't see being done in your industry. Because when you do, again, it brings attention. So I'll give an example for myself. When I was starting this show, being somebody who focuses on marketing, right? When I started this show, I had to come up with a plan to market it. I had to build a buzz. I had to get people excited because it was something new and it was something different, right? And I had to stand out. So I thought of what are some things that I could do to stand out that totally fits my personality, but still stretches me a bit, right? And when we started thinking about putting together the video promos, I remember speaking to my content manager, creative manager, and we came up with this idea like, oh, what if you were to hear the baby cry at the end? So we went and we got it done. And then we said, oh, what if we were to hear the actual heartbeat of the baby? Oh, that would be different. That would be unique. You're not seeing nobody else doing that, right? I said, man, let me go to a hospital, let me order a coat, and let me make myself look like a midwife, even though I don't have a medical degree, right? Because I wanted to stand out. right? I wanted to stand out. And these are just me going deeper into knowing how do you find things. Even if you feel like you don't know what your unique factor is, what are some unique things you can do in your business that's going to make it stand out from anybody else that's doing what you do? Okay, so this is what you need to be thinking, all right? So number one is your story. Number two, I want you to think of your appearance, okay? So let me stop for a minute. We are our worst critic. So by me saying, go look at your appearance, I am not saying go in the mirror right now and start critiquing every little thing about yourself. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying that at all. What I do think you should do, however, is ask people in your life, what's one thing about how I look that stands out? Okay, because for you, it could be the color of your hair. It could be your smile. It could be the way you twink your nose, right? It could be the one of the guys, oh my goodness, what is Willie Moore? And he always be like flat out, right? Nobody else can do it like him, right? When I think of Kevin Hart, one of the things that could have ostracized him was the fact he is short. But instead, he used his it factor, that unique thing, right? And he milks it. I mean, every time he does a show, he always do this thing where he's supposed to be tough, but you know the little guy is never tough, right? And you guys laugh at it, and I laugh at it, but honestly, that is him finding his it factor, that unique thing about him, and he's milking it, okay? I know of another person in our industry, Nicole Walters, and she's another coach, right? And I remember years ago when I first came in contact with her in Periscope, she kept saying scropera. And I'm like, what is this chick talking about? And then I started listening further, and I started seeing this logo with glasses. And then I started seeing she's always wearing glasses. And I'm like, oh, right. So she took something, that glasses, that thing that she probably wore her whole life or whatever she does for reading or whatever, and she turned it into a brand, a thing that will make you recognize her brand, something that will make you recognize her. Okay, and all of you guys have it. Okay, so one way you can find your it factor is your story. Another way you can find your it factor is through your appearance. Okay, now a third way that you can find your it factor is by your personality. Okay, so this is the one that I think, my story and my personality is what kind of led me to my own it factor. But your personality, I think when I think of it factor, I think of someone who is very confident yet humble at the same time. I think of someone who has something deeper about her, like not really surface, or him or her, right? What about your personality is different? Like, do you have a laugh that you do? Like, for example, one of the things that I do, and I don't know how I picked this up, y'all, but for a long time, I have always been the person that whenever I answer my phone and it's one of my friends on the other line, or when I come on live streams or anything, I'd be like, hello, darling. That is something that I always do. And my tribe knows me for it, to the point where if I was to turn my camera right now, I have something that says, hello, darling, right? So it's really important for you to see what part of my personality is different and how can I use it to make my brand stand out? How can I use this to get my message out? How can I use this so my ideal clients can gravitate towards me? And again, like I said, most of the time, that one thing about you is the thing that you don't like. Okay, so a lot of times in this, again, I got the name Master Midwife very recently, and I ran with it because it was something that a part of my tribe named me. Okay, so I've been teaching for years in this industry, and one of the things that people always say is that I'm 100% real. I really like straight up, no chaser kind of real, and I'm very like no excuses, pushing them, stand with them, give them ideas. Don't let them give up. I'm like that person that's your coach that's like, no, you can do it, right? If only I was into health and wellness, I'll probably be the best physical therapist or whatever, trainer, right? But no, this is what people would say about me. So when I got the name Master Midwife, I decided to run with it, right? Because I said, you know what, this is something that makes me unique. Even though I do teach things that a lot of other people teach, my attitude, my personality, the way I bring things across, the way I deal with people is very unique in my own way, okay? Even my humor is unique, right? Because some things I think is funny and most people don't, but it's still unique. It's me. And there are things about your personality that's unique, and you can probably find your it factor there. Now, I have a bonus for you before I leave you today. I'm going to do a quick recap, but let's do the bonus first. Bonus is, once you find this it factor, your job is to brand it and stay consistent with it. Okay? Once you find that thing about you, maybe your smile, maybe you have beautiful white teeth, and every time you open your mouth, you know, even if people don't remember your name, they remember, oh, her smile, right? Maybe that's about you. How about you were to get someone to do a cartoon of just your mouth with a smile, and that could be the little thing that you put on your tips every day. Okay? Or maybe you can call yourself the money lady with the smile. I'm making something up. But find a way to find, once you find that hit factor, find a way to brand it and stay consistent with it. This is going to be the key to milking it. Because I can say that once I found my it factor, everything changed for me. Okay, so let's recap this one more time, and then I have a few announcements for you guys this episode. So number one way that you can find your it factor is by going into your journey. People love stories. People love successes. They love, you know, the hero's journey. Okay, not only do they love journeys, but they remember stories. A lot of times you might not remember a person that speaks on the stage, but you remember their story. You remember that unique thing about them. Okay, number two, your appearance. So there's something about you that may stand out. Maybe you always have purple hair. If that's your thing, find it, milk it, find a way to brand it. Okay, find a way to brand it. I'm sitting here trying to remember one of my peers, Jen, and she loves fairy godmothers. Okay, she loves fairy godmothers. I had the pleasure of interviewing her for my Master Your Marketing Summit last year. And if you go to Jen's website, Jen's photo shoot was in a beautiful Cinderella dress with the magic, and she tells you she puts a little magic on your business. Okay? This is what I mean when I say find your it factor, brand it, and stay consistent with it, because it does your message a whole lot of good. Okay? Now, third, your personality. Your personality is usually the one, all right? Because a lot of times two people can say the same thing, but they say it very differently. And your personality should be in everything that you do. Every single thing that you do, all right? Okay, guys, so I am so happy that I was able to come again for another episode of the Birthing Experience. I hope that you found this valuable. Guys, if you have not shared this out yet, please share this out. And again, if you're on the replay, put hashtag replay below so we can come back and say what's up and thank you for joining. Now, I have two announcements before I leave you tonight. Number one, as I said in the beginning, we are going to have another Master Midwife moment next week, Thursday, where we're having a special guest come by, and we're going to talk all about the secrets. Actually, no, I'll tell you what we're going to be talking about next week. Give me a second. I'm going to tell you what we're going to be talking about next week. All right. I probably should have had that up in front of me, huh? So I'm not sure what our topic is because it's not in front of me, but we are having a Master Midwife moment, and we are going to be having a guest from the Rose Show that's going to be here. And in a few days, I'm going to be releasing that. So make sure that you look out for that announcement, okay? And my second announcement for tonight is right now in our private Facebook group, the Business Law for Coaches, we are doing a series right now where we're teaching our coaches how to turn their coaching leads into buyers, okay? So if you are not a part of our private Facebook community, the Business Law for Coaches, I suggest that you get yourself in there right now, because we give you the gist here on the show, but when you want that hands-on help, deeper trainings, resources, accountability, partnerships, and just all around a great community for you to grow in, you need to be in the Business Law for Coaches, okay? All right, so once again, thank you guys so much for being with me. This has been The Birthing Experience, and I'm your host, The Master Midwife. Thank you again.